I didn't remember that this was the last season of Ozark, bro. I didn't remember that.
Really? I thought we had talked about that.
We probably did, but for some reason, it just did not register with me that this was it. Man.
It didn't feel like this was it.
Yeah.
If there's any consolation, I'll give you that.
Sad. That should make you kind of sad. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Cinecism. I'm Eric.
It's your boy Dante, man, and today we're going to be doing a review on Ozark Season 4, Part 2.
The end of an era.
Yes, indeed.
So this second half of the season picks up with, of course, Navarro still locked up. Javi is still kind of running operations. Of course, we know Darlene and Wyatt got axed the last half of the season. You got Ruth. So Ruth, this second half of the season, is kind of trying to, I guess at some point, she's trying to have a clean slate. Man, that just didn't work out for her, unfortunately.
Events unfold that pretty much lead Ruth to being able to get control of the Liberty Bell, the casino that they got on the water. After that, she's trying to pretty much go a clean route. She's trying to get her record expunged, all her felonies are gone, and she really not trying to deal with Marty and Wendy no more. She really trying to sever ties with them. In the midst of that, her doing this is really putting them in a difficult position because things that Ruth has done has put them in a tough spot with the Navarro cartel, and now they scrambling to pretty much still launder money, but the Liberty Bell was their primary laundering effort, and now Ruth doesn't want them laundering money through that. So it's all about really picking up the pieces. They try to utilize all their political and like any clout that they have in the community, they trying to utilize that so they can finally make this one last play. And then on top of that, they trying to double cross Navarro and get his sister to take over the organization. So she's been talking to the FBI and they've been trying to facilitate that behind the scenes. So it's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on.
Double crossing.
Yes.
Triple crossing.
Yes, indeed.
It's a lot of judgment clouded by like emotion this season too. People are not making rational decisions. I guess Marty is generally the biggest voice of reason. Almost everything he does is the more logical thing to do. Whereas people that he associates with, unfortunately, don't always share the sentiment.
Very concise way of putting it. The catalyst for a lot of the events in part 2 of season 4 is Ruth killing Javi, which was crazy.
It's crazy because she thought she was just going to try to live a normal life after that. Like getting a whole cartel back.
You killed the cartel leader at that point, because it's not even really Navarro. He was the leader of the cartel.
But Navarro wanted out too. Like he was trying to get out the game in his own way. Absolutely. In a very ridiculous, unreasonable way, but in his own way nonetheless. This motherfucker wanted no jail time.
Complete immunity.
With all the murders.
You know, Ruth killing Javi gave me mixed feelings because on the one hand, I was kind of happy that he got out of the paint because a person like that
he was actually really pissing me off.
Yeah, he was a menace.
Because he was even more unreasonable than Navarro.
And way more violent and far more impulsive, which is a big problem.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Impulsiveness.
That conversation she had with Marty and them was heartbreaking, man. It was funny how she because she originally was going to kill him on the street and then she backed out. She chickened out, right? She couldn't do it. Couldn't get up the nerve. And then it went through this series where she was kind of internalizing it to be Marty and Wendy's fault. I thought that was really interesting because she was following them around town and saw how they was trying to get out the game and started to become real resentful and mad. And then she roped them into this whole situation where they had to call Javier to Claire's office. Poor Claire. She just trying to get her drugs and be out. That conversation that she had with Marty, man, was just heartbreaking because he really knew on top of the consequences that Ruth was going to serve, he really didn't want her to go down this path. And he was really trying to plead with her like, yo, please don't do this. He saw the life that she had been through and he really didn't want that for her. He felt like she could have a way out. Marty was right. He was like, yo, man, her meeting us, we ruined her life. She literally lost every member of her family because she done got roped up in a situation with us and he really felt for her.
People never listen to Marty, bro. Every time people don't listen to Marty, somebody dies.
Yep. That's actually very true. She hesitated not even a second to kill Javier. I thought
that was another little daydream.
Me too.
Because
Me too.
of how abrupt it was.
Me too.
I thought Javi was gonna go out way more dramatic than he did.
Me too. Cool thing about that episode, which I thought was gonna actually be a reoccurring theme throughout this season, was at the beginning of that first episode, her and Wyatt kind of talking about great albums, and they talking about like their favorite tracks or tracks off of those albums. Illmatic was one of the albums they named, and they played Illmatic throughout the whole episode, which was so dope. And I thought that they were gonna do that throughout the entire season, like all the albums they mentioned, like each episode might be an album they mentioned. I thought so. I thought it was so cool, that convo she had with Killer Mike, man.
Bro, that shit was so random to me. Did you know he was gonna be in here?
I had no clue. And he was just
Killer Mike.
Yeah. I thought he was gonna. I was like, oh, he just Killer Mike. But that line where she was like, well, I never sleep. And he was like, oh, why not? And she was like, you know why? I was like, oh, that shit up hard, nigga. Oh, that's my boy, nigga.
But let's talk about the Wendy's dad situation. He wild, bro. Like, he be talking crazy. I'm surprised his ass didn't get smoked this season.
That's what I thought. I thought he was gonna catch it, but he didn't. He one of them evangelist weird people that got like a real dark side.
Like, talking reckless as fuck.
Yeah.
Clearly abusive verbally.
Absolutely.
Obviously formally, physically abusive.
Yeah.
And those religious nut jobs in these shows be tripping me out. And then this girl was super creepy too.
Yeah, she
what was she on?
Yeah,
she just an old freak.
She felt very overly
going
sexual
on that bus.
Yeah, right. She kept looking at that poor guy that life was ruined, that worked at the hotel, but she kept looking at him in this weird way. I don't know, man. It was she
definitely a freaky cult, man.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what they was on, but they was on one for sure.
Then he tried to take the kid Jonah and Charlotte from him. I'm like, man,
you know, that's very. I thought
that shit was gonna happen. I was like, man, that's gonna be a weird little side arc. How they gonna be interacting under his house in his house?
That's what I was. Yeah, I was curious about that too. I wasn't mad at them choosing to leave because I completely understand the circumstances. Yeah. I would have thought they had been wanting to get up out of there, but I guess they didn't really have no options.
And then after seeing the dad, I was like, shit. I mean, I don't know if they gonna be better off.
That's what I'm saying. But see, they were blind to that though. I think they had both kind of resented. In the first part of the season, it was really Jonah that resented Wendy.
I mean, them kids' life's fucked up.
Yeah, they'll never be the same. Like, how could you after a situation like this? You know what I will say? Jonah was not anywhere near as irritating to me as he was in that first part of the season. Yeah. I felt like he was kind of low-key chilling. He wasn't doing the absolute most. I appreciated that.
I mean, I empathize with him a lot in the first half of the season, though, because he's still pretty young. Yeah, he's smart, but he's still young. You're not emotionally developed at that age as much as you are as an adult. And on top of that, like, he had a close relationship with the uncle, so I empathize with him. I mean, I didn't agree with some of his methods and stuff, of course, but I understood why he was feeling the way he was feeling.
Yeah, I definitely understood.
Especially towards his mom.
Yeah.
Wendy she was pissing me off. So
this season, I really was like, this is the most that Wendy has irritated me throughout the entire, Yeah,
this whole season, I think
I was like, wow. Just the things she was saying, like the complete lack of empathy, the complete lack of care. Wendy really be power hungry. It's like that's not her objective. Yeah. She really be trying to live this lifestyle.
Man, that's what I mean. The emotions clouding people's judgment. Like, she's too vindictive, man. Yeah. She focused so much on revenge or the power aspect. If you was really trying to protect your family, you would do what's necessary to do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Instead of dwelling so much on getting back at people or stopping people from being in certain positions. Like, this season, she really showed there's some psychological issues in that family. Like, it was really on full display this season.
When she checked herself into that facility,
like, it ain't just the brother.
Her kids' attention. No, hell no. Speaking of which, that was heartbreaking to finally see that sequence where he was talking to old boy in the car. Hey, yo, you gotta be a different type of person to listen to somebody pour their heart out and sell Merkel. Yeah, right.
Ready?
You're ready. You know who else was really great? Navarro's sister. She had a real presence. I'm like, damn, that whole
cold,
bro. That whole family just heartless.
It's crazy because where we got to see Navarro get angry at times, with her, it was nothing. No, it was just like murder.
Yeah, absolutely. And she was very personable too, like with going in there kicking it. But that whole scene where Wendy took her to see Claire, and she was like, "Well, my son said you made a deal, so you made a deal."
Oh boy,
I was like, I said, "Uh-oh."
Claire be so shook, bro.
No, but I feel her. she's the only one responding properly to a cartel. Because when they came in her house with the gate code, she was like, how'd y'all even get in here? They never said a word. It was just like, yo, where's Javi? He said he was going to meet with you. She was like, well, how'd you get in the gate, bro? How'd you get in the gate?
That scene when they was all at that the event at the end when they was all talking and the sister discovered, you know, what happened to Javi.
Sure.
That shit was intense.
Yes, scary.
I'm talking about Claire broke immediately.
I knew it. She was like, no, fuck that. I know what happened. But I did appreciate that she didn't throw Marty and Wendy under the bus.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool.
She tried to maintain, but yeah, I appreciated that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, she held out as long as she could, man.
Yeah.
But what you gonna do?
Right.
When it comes to that.
Exactly.
Yeah, Ruth.
You know what, man?
I felt it, man, but the way she did that, bro, damn, at least try to do it in a more discreet way.
I was about to say, she would have been better off doing it on the street.
Yeah.
Because at least that way it looked like a rant, or it looked like it could have been anyone. Because this is a cartel leader.
Yeah.
So anybody could be gunning for him. Mm-hmm. That could just make it look like any random hit. Nobody would have suspected anything, but her making Claire call him to the office, getting him to be like, tell all his people where he was going. That's what brought suspicion on them. That's what fucked that up. I will say though, the way that she went out was probably the most G-est death on the show. Like, she got to actually be Ruth and go out. Because I felt like the way Darlene died was real opposite her character. Ruth got to be Ruth to the bitter end.
It was an honorable demise.
It was. And died at her house too.
Yeah.
Like, if there was anywhere else Ruth would have got killed, it would have probably been her residence. What a tragic end, man. I love Ruth so much, and she was really a great character on the show.
A favorite.
I couldn't even be mad at the way she died. I found myself not being really upset just because of the way that it went down. I was like, you know what? At least she got to die on her terms.
You know, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought Marty was gonna have to take Wendy out at some point. I would have understood.
Yeah.
I thought that was gonna just be like one of the tough choices Marty was gonna have to make, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't think she survived that car crash. But the way she looked in there, she was like the most slumped. I said, oh, fuck no, she's dead. That was real interesting too. Like, I wonder why they showed that scene. I guess maybe to bait you in, to make you think, but I was trying to think like what type of like artistic or metaphor that could have meant.
Yeah, I remember seeing it at the beginning, and then of course I forgot about it when this second half started, and then once they were all in the car again, I was like, oh, you know what? I think they about to wreck now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely thought Wendy was gonna die some way or another.
Yeah.
Whether it was gonna be at somebody's hands or that accident, I thought she was gonna die before the season was over.
Yeah, the way she was moving, like, it felt like she was taking too many risks to not have any consequences. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least a major one. She really didn't catch any, really, like, not even beat up. You know who I really find myself not liking? I really can't stand Maya. And I really can't stand that other cop. I hate both of them. The thing that this show is really good for is that, like, everybody on this show is guilty of something. Every once in a while, you get these characters that are not perfect and that have done fucked up shit and try to stand on this moral high ground that I'm like, what the fuck gives you the right? That cop and Maya be talking to the birds like they the worst people that ever existed. I'm like, nigga, what are you talking about, bro? You know it's a cartel they work for, like, right? Yeah. People be trying to act like they the worst people on the show. I'm like, dude, they literally don't try to kill anyone. And then that fucking cop.
He was so annoying.
I hated him.
I felt that when Marty was like, I hate him so much.
And then he kept being like, when they had finally got him reinstated, at the whole time at the table, he was like, you people are despicable, fuck you. And all it's like, dude, take the deal or not. But you the cokey cop, nigga. Right. The fuck you coming at me for? Nigga, ain't my fault you got suspended. Talking about fuck you guys. Like, dude, we got your job back, bitch, nigga.
So did Jonah smoke him at the end or what?
It sure looked. I wanted to see that though. I wanted to see him catch the bullets.
He was doing too much.
Bro, talk about some. Didn't this nigga? I don't know if this is his first time in America or what, but he was like, yeah, what do you think? That you guys get to, just because you got money, you get to just do whatever you want? I'm like, well, in America, rich, white family getting away with murder. Sounds about right. Nigga, is this your first rodeo? That's what America is literally built on.
Like,
rich whites
about, bro?
Getting off. Easy. Scot-free. No consequences.
I'm sure they ain't the worst.
Right. How'd you feel about the way that it ended? Did it feel feel like a conclusion to you? Did you feel like it was a ending that felt fitting to the journey?
I don't know, man. I feel mixed. I'm not saying it was a bad ending, but something about it left me feeling like, I mean, it's not a happy ending. You know what I mean? So I think that's what causes the confliction for me. I don't know how to explain it. It just felt like a part of me is missing now. Yeah. Because it's like not everybody got what they wanted. You know, I mean, I guess that's real. I guess ultimately the main thing is the bird family survived. For them, this is like the best possible outcome considering everything that led up to this point.
I was gonna be very upset if this show ended with that cop turning him in. I thought that would have been so lame. So I was happy to see that looks like that's not the outcome. You know, overall, I felt like the ending was cool. I definitely felt mixed for sure, which I think was the intent. They didn't want you to feel completely settled by what you saw, and I definitely didn't feel like it wasn't a full circle conclusion. It didn't feel like there was still some unanswered questions. I still would like to see more of it. I thought that was a very interesting way to end it because it kind of feels like there should be more information, but it's not.
And that's the thing about it, a show like this, you know, this story can go on, but that don't mean we have to necessarily see everything that happens after this.
Yeah.
We kind of just speculate and use our own imagination. I'm glad that they did it that way because not everything requires a conclusion. Like I'm glad they did it this way instead of trying to rush and tie up all the loose ends before the end of the season. Then it would have felt rushed like so many other shows do. I thought it was good that they didn't try to tie up everything.
Me too.
Like, I think the most important arcs got completed. Overall, you know, sad as I am to see the show come to this conclusion, I did still enjoy this entire season. Sad to see what happened to some of the characters, but in this life, it's kind of expected. You know, not everybody gonna make it out this shit alive. So the entire bird family, as crazy as they are, I'm glad to see that they all survived. Yeah, I enjoyed it, man. I particularly enjoyed Jason Bateman. He was my favorite character in the entire series, probably. The show just looks, I mean, it's so beautifully shot. Just the environment. It feels like a very living, breathing world that we're part of. Like just wild shit just happening out in the country, man. Yeah, man, I thought it was a solid season, and I'm gonna give Ozark season 4 part 2 it's a 9.5. Did I say anything negative? This going sound fucked up, but I wanted Wendy to die, bro. Because she just kept pissing me off. I feel that was like my only negative. But that ain't even nothing against the show. That was just how I personally felt about her character because she was constantly putting the family in unnecessarily dangerous situations.
I really love this show. I've loved it from the moment that I first saw it. I always thought that it was such an engaging and very interesting concept. It always felt like a roller coaster. Even when there's not necessarily, quote unquote, a lot of stuff happening, the characters, for some reason, always keep you engaged, and that's in large part to the performances. It's like a master class in acting in this show. I think everybody just delivers. It's such a wide range of characters and likability, and there has been from the start. I mean, there's so many different characters that have crossed paths on this show. It's sad to see it go, but I'm a person that likes when shows kind of know when to call it a quits, you know, instead of just running it as long as humanly possible and the quality suffering. I think that the show never dipped really in quality. It was sad to see my favorite character get killed, but at the same time, I thought it was a fitting end. I thought that everything that should have happened probably happened with the exception of Wendy getting killed. Overall, I'm going to give it a 9. I think the show is so great and it's definitely worth checking out if you haven't seen it. I would encourage you to watch it if you haven't seen any of the seasons, but definitely check out part 2. You'll enjoy it.
Thank y'all for tuning into our review of Ozark season 4 part 2. Hope y'all enjoyed it. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. If you have any suggested reviews you'd like to see a cover here, please drop a comment below.
Absolutely. And if you guys have seen Ozark season 4 part 2, please let us know what you thought. How did you feel about the overall ending? Did you feel like it was a good conclusion? Some of your favorite characters, some of your favorite moments, worst moments, we'd like to know that as well.
For sure.
We appreciate y'all, man.
Thank y'all.
Peace.